Hey guys, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, my name is Chanel, and you've just tuned into the Feathered Traveler Chronicles. I want you guys to know I have been in Europe for 3 months now, and I've got so much information to tell you guys. So many things have happened. And while I'm smiling about it all, it's because I'm having a wonderful time in all of the stressful things that are happening. So for those of you who have been tuned in, and for the new people that are here, I moved out of the country and have started a life of integrating and immigration. And I want you to know I have a brand new outlook and respect for the immigration process. It is extremely hard, and I feel for everybody, especially myself. So like I said, I've been in Europe for 3 months now. Most importantly, I've been in Tiel in Netherlands. I'm now in Manchester, like I told you in my last video, so that is the change of scenery here. Outside, just so I wouldn't be inside with you guys. I want to take a walk with you. But yeah, I was in Tiel. The story of how we got into Tiel, very long. If you decide that you want to know, hit me up in the comments. I'll let you know. Very long story. However, moving along, I was in Tiel, and while English is the second language of the country, not everybody can speak it, and not everybody can really comprehend. While the English language is a universal language, as they like to say, comprehension is really a thing. So being able to immigrate into another system is really hard when you are the only American in one area, which was our situation. So I know you're wondering, why am I now in Manchester, England? Well, here's how this goes. So, as an American, you have a 180 day time span of the Schengen area. In this 80 days, you can only be in the Schengen area for 90 days. The Schengen area is made up of, I think, about 27 countries. But you can only be there for 90 days. So when we moved, we did about 2 years of research. 2 years through a bunch of countries. We visited the Netherlands last year, decided we loved it. Boom, there we were. In this information and this research that we did, we came to soon find out that there are things that you cannot see on the internet that you actually have to be here for. Even talking to people, talking across the country or whatever, because they don't understand our dialect or some of our word choice or our sentence structure, it's really hard to get like real information from them. So many phone calls, people, so many phone calls. But because of this, the immigration process for us has been really hard. They give you this runaround. For 3 months, we got a huge runaround of the things that we needed. You need a job to get your work permit, and your work permit to get a place to stay. Well, to our luck, we actually had a place to stay. The job and the work permit thing, though, really took us for a loop. The first month that we got there, obviously we're getting like used to it, getting used to the time. We are right now in Manchester. I am 5 hours ahead of some of you in the States. In the Netherlands, it's an extra hour, so 6 hours. So getting used to the time span, getting used to the weather, getting used to what's going on there. Guys, I gotta tell you, while it's been cool, it's been extremely stressful. The last 60 days was spent with some intense job search and talking to the immigration office. because one takes you to another. If you find a job, the job tells you that you need a work permit. If you want to go get a work permit, the work permit people tell you that you have to go and get a job, as I told you before. But it was intense. I mean, everybody said the same thing. And I mean, for weeks, we went back and forth. So I must have put in about 50 plus applications. And in putting in these 50 plus applications, finally, I got a job. Now, mind you, I work in sales, or I did work in sales, so I was looking for a lot of jobs that were in sales. But as the time came, or time was ticking, you try to find a job in almost anything, not almost. So it came down to it. I go to Randstad. People know that. And it was an order pick job. It's fine. I had a few other ventures going, so order pick was fine. I just wanted to be able to have my permit to be able to stay there. In getting the job, there's one thing that they don't tell you. Even if a company wants to give you a job and they're willingly giving you the job, you still have to go to, because you're not Dutch, what they call the unemployment office, to make sure that no one else in the EU or a Dutch citizen can't do the job. Well, because it's order pick, literally anybody could do the job. If you trained your dog well enough, I'm sure they could do the job as well. And that was the issue. So in finding this out, which they don't tell you on the internet, they tell you that a Dutch person has to, but if the company wants you, that shouldn't be the issue. But it is. Currently, it is the issue. So time ticked. We had to find out a plan too, because they told me that because I got the job, chances are the UWV is what they call their employment office would not give me the job, or they wouldn't give me the sign off for a work permit. So there was a plan B, if you will, put in place. Coming back to the States would have been honestly quite unnecessary. If we want to make the dream work of staying in the Netherlands or staying in Europe, there's some other things you have to think about. And that's what I've learned about being over here. Sometimes you have to really think outside of the box, because being in another country, there's so many things. I'm going to sit down for a minute. Being in another country, there's so many things that you don't know. It's a culture shock. The people are different, the food's different, everything's different, honestly. If you go to another country thinking that you're going to have the same treatment and the same whatevers that you have where you are, cut that out right now. Unless you're on vacation and you decide to go to a tourist place, it's not it. So we had to come up with a plan B pretty quickly, which landed us here. The plan was to continue to find jobs or look for jobs in the Netherlands. Our 90 days was coming to an end. It was coming to an end pretty quickly. When we looked on the internet, it said that after your 90 days, you become illegal, but you have at least 10 days for a grace period to be there. Wrong, guys. So our plan was to leave at least a week left there in the Netherlands and come over to Europe. Why? We're in Europe. Come over to the UK. Why the UK? Because one, it's only about an hour away on the flight. Two, the flight tickets were only $15. Yes, $15, guys. Anyway. So it was to come over to Europe. This is how you stay persistent and resilient, and you fight for what you want. We decided to come over to Europe, come over to the UK, leave some days over in the Netherlands for job interviews, to come back and get our stuff if we needed to, all kinds of stuff. Well, while the plan went that way, we get to the airport We actually got to Manchester last Thursday. So we get to the airport and we get to customs, and he asked us if we were coming back to the Netherlands or if we were going to the States. Well, naturally, we're like, oh, we're going back to the Netherlands. And here's what we find out. Guys, we have been there for 91 days. Yes, that is right. We were illegal for a day. Now, obviously, I'm not locked up because I'm making this video for you guys, so we're all in the clear, but he was really nice about it. He said, it's 91 days, you actually can't come back. He did call to see if he had to do or take action, but because it was only a day, he let us go, but we cannot go back until September, or until we figure out this entire work permit thing. So guys, the journey gets exciting every day. Every month there's something new that we have to work out, and it's extremely stressful. It is crazy. We thought we had a 10-day grace period, and that is not true. So here we are. And while these things exist and it's extremely stressful and all of these things, I wouldn't trade this for anything in the world. I could be sitting in the States and miserable at my job, but instead I am in Manchester. This is the 4th country I've been in this year. I'm going to include the States because I left there in March. So I've been in the States, I've been to the Netherlands, I've been to Belgium. That was really cool. Really cool. Antwerp has so many things. If you want to see a couple pictures, I have it on my Instagram page. It's _featheredtraveler_. I have a couple pictures there. I'm going to post some more. I'll probably give you a little bit of some videos that I took there. But that was really cool. It was a really good experience, and I have to go back. And here I am now in Manchester. Manchester has been cool. Our host is really nice. We live in almost like an African place. I don't know. We went to an Afrobeat club, and we went to the biggest mall in the UK. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. It's really nice. But see, with all of this again, it's all great, but it's still life. Life is still happening because we decided to make this move, and you just have to push through it. And being over here has taught me so much. As I told you guys before, my experience of life is expanding so much. I have met so many different people. I've ate so many foods. Guys, you got to get over here and try food. For all my foodies out there, I've tried so many different foods. Just let me go on a tangent. Turkish food is amazing. Indonesian food is amazing. All of you have had Indian food, but you got to come over here and have Indian food because it's real. I've had Congolese food. It was goat. It was really good. So many different things. Again, I would not trade these experiences for anything else. I would not trade them for my old life at all. But it is very stressful, and moving out of the country is not for the light at heart. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of information on what was going on, because you guys have saw fit to follow me on my journeys in Europe. And who knows, maybe this goes further than here. I did not expect to be in England, but here I am. And it's been pretty cool thus far. There's things that we have to figure out, what kind of permit we can go back on. There's a couple different ones that you can, unfortunately, unless I decided to become a software developer, the highly skilled migrant worker doesn't work. But there is another one that they do have, which is called the Dutch American Freelance Treaty. known as DAFT, and which means that you can have a certain amount of money in an account, and then you pay for this visa, and then essentially you can be in the Netherlands doing nothing, driving Uber because you're there. And maybe that's something to go back on. But I'm here, I'm figuring it out, I'm learning so many different things. Who knows? Who knows? I'm thinking about life differently. I'm looking at things differently. I see different trees. Just random things. But I do thank you guys for following all of this. I'll be back next week to tell you what more I've come up with and what we've done thus far. But I just wanted to give you background on what's going on. This isn't easy. I may be here smiling with you guys, but it's not easy. It's far from it. I promise. There's so many contributing factors to being out of the country. There's so many contributing factors to integrating and immigration. Like, man, if you were here, you'd probably be out eating and doing a lot of things. But if you were a part of this for real, you would understand. But I will keep you guys abreast, and I thank you guys for tuning in to my life. This is the Feathered Traveler Chronicles. I'll be back with another Power Juice time just to give you guys a little inspiration on what's going on. I inspire myself and every day, because if you can't inspire and encourage yourself, then what is it that you're doing? So until next week, guys, you've just tuned into the Feathered Traveler. See you later.